8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
Just appreciate this like goofy, like
Live from TeamBoydTV Studios, it's the dopest live NFL show on the internet, providing the hottest takes, up-to-date news and moves, and the latest NFL reactions. It's TeamBoydTV Live, introducing the bad boys of NFL sports talk, the Raven Shogun, JB, the sage of sports, Glass, and your host, Big Q. It's about to get rough, and it's about to get raw. It's game time. Welcome to TeamBoydTV Live.
What is happening, everybody? And then JB done took over my camera once again. Lord have mercy. JB done took over my camera, but that's okay. It's your boy Big Q, TeamBoydTV Live.
Hey, Big Q, you muted or something, bro.
Oh yeah, I got the wrong one. I had you muted. And okay, anyway, TeamBoydTV Live. JB in my spot. I think I just fixed this, but it looked like we're gonna make it anyway. JB, you in my spot. Glass, you look good. Me and JB, we'll fix it as the show goes along. Anyway, second to the last show, TeamBoydTV Live, conference championship game for the right to go to the big game. Of course, I got my boys with me. Got the sage of sports, Glass, in the building. What's going on, Glass?
What up, family? Big Q, JB, everybody out there in social media, appreciate you guys joining the show. Let's get this show cracking.
JB, I know it hurt a little bit, but it's growing pains. You're growing. We're going to talk about your quarterback here today. I heard some news today that might make you smile despite everything that went down over the weekend. The Raven Shogun, ladies and gentlemen. Raven Shogun.
All right, what up, everybody? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, people who trickling in. I might look later. Peace to you.
Okay, I had to fix your cam. Okay. Anyway, want to welcome everybody in to like I said, the last playoff show until we get to the championship show. I actually had a good time last weekend. And Glass, I saw you post it. It was great on your Instagram. You showcased my algorithm and all its glory. It was a beautiful thing. I got every single one of those divisional games right. And y'all sitting there calling me crazy last week. There it is, right?
First off, congratulations, Big Q. You went
Yes.
4-0 last week.
Yeah.
You're leading us by overall 9-7. So I can't trip. Like I always said, JB, you know what I said. The sun shine on the dog's rear every now and then, man. So
And broke clock right twice a day.
there you go.
Anyway, really awesome games, man. The games were good. I don't think there was really one that wasn't really that entertaining at all. Most of the stuff that I got to see, the late games from the weekend. I didn't get to see too much of what was going on in the early windows. But we'll talk about Patrick Mahomes' injury. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Browns and what at the end of the game. Listen, I ain't gonna make no excuses for the Browns. I ain't gonna make look. They had awesome season. They had a pretty good playoff run. You know what I mean? Dethroning the Pittsburgh Steelers the way they did, dispatching them the way they did, despite of what people want to say. Showing up to your first really like divisional game in I don't know how long, and your coach on the sidelines with COVID, he can't really coach. For the last 3 minutes of the game, you didn't even get the ball back. You had to sit there and kind of watch the other team. It was rough. It was rough. I'm not a Browns fan, but for the Browns fans, that was a little tough to watch. Glass, what you thought about the game?
Hey, the game to me, if anything, that's the most entertaining game that was out there. Browns brought it to the table. They did what they had to do. Only thing that disappointed me, that whole situation, was that touchback.
Yeah,
that was BS call. Should have been not unsportsmanlike, but he led with his Sorensen led with the crown of his helmet, and that should have been called before that touchback. And I still don't understand the touchback rule. If I'm going for the end zone and I've fumbled the ball out of bounds, I don't think the other team should get the ball. Put me on the 20, put me on whatever, but don't give the ball to the other team. So now you're telling me I can't go for the touchdown.
Right,
just
right.
me.
Which is
Right.
yeah, well, that's a very weird rule because I mean only way that can make sense is if it's turnover on downs on that, right? But it wasn't a turnover on
Exactly.
downs. So
No.
yeah, I don't know. It was a little bit weird. A little bit weird. So yeah, that was the Cleveland game. Like I said, I thought it was great. I just kind of felt bad for Baker at the end of the game. He just had to sit on that bench and watch things go down the way they went. Didn't get the opportunity to get the ball back. But you know what they say, JB. When you put yourself in situations like that, you ain't nothing you can do about it, right? Because he shouldn't have been in that situation. He shouldn't have been sitting there waiting for a chance to get the ball back to see. I think they was down anyway. I think. Yeah, they think they had just got scored on, right? And
Right.
with the previous possession, they were unable to score, gave the ball back to the other team, and the other team just sat on it. It was pretty sad. But Jay, what you thought about it, Jimmy?
Well, I mean, despite how the X's and O's went, first of all, it really was a good game. It was scary at times for the Chiefs faithful, but they Chad Henne came in, did a serviceable job. But at the end of the day, what you saw was the defending champions. They those teams like if you're a champion, you find a way. And Chad didn't look good the few snaps that he had. He bought single-handedly through
Yes.
it cost him, but he found a way. Despite Tyreek Hill's attitude, I guess he knew better. He had to take the leadership role on offense.
Yeah.
By just kind of certain like some type of mental toughness and just have a assertive attitude in general. He made the play of the game and got the first down. The rest was knees. So that's that.
Yeah, that was that. And we'll talk about the Patrick Mahomes situation and that stupid Colin Cowherd situation. We'll talk about that here in a minute, but let's talk about the other games real quick. What's the who was it? The Packers and the Saints? Is that right? No, Saints and Bucs.
Packers and Rams.
So, Packers and Rams. But that one was okay. I don't know if you saw the mic'd up stuff between Jalen Ramsey and old boy. There was some pretty entertaining stuff. But obviously, it's some stuff going on between Jared Goff and Sean McVay right now. I don't know if you're paying attention to that. But toward the end of the season, really, I didn't have that much stock in the. I think the Rams was playing with house money. I don't think that was one of them teams that really deserved to be there. Glass. But they made the most of it, right? You know what I mean? I don't think they were.
You don't think they deserve to be there?
I think it would have been much more entertaining to see Arizona in that spot. Even though the math works out the way it works out. Ain't nothing we can do about that. I mean, that's the way the seeding works, right? But I just didn't think that. I mean, I got exactly what I expected from them in this playoff run. Didn't really think nothing was gonna happen.
You put the Arizona up there. I think it would have been a better game if Seattle would have been up in there. But like you said, the numbers tell us what it is. You got to win them games in order to be there.
You do.
Right.
I think the Rams defense actually brought them there. I'm not a Jared Goff fan. Never was. Other factors brought them to that game and everything. But as you can tell, you got to have a good quarterback to succeed. And of course, we know Aaron Rodgers is going to do that. We know Jared Goff will not. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So
being hobbled by a thumb, it just may matter.
Right.
That's true.
I mean,
so for the ones who don't know, like they asked Sean McVay, what was the future of him and Jared Goff, and he didn't say that he definitely wanted him to come back. He was saying things like that they would like to get a new quarterback and no, that's the other team and let the quarterback develop. No, that was not Sean McVay's words. That was somebody else. Like, I'll get to that in a minute. I got that one up here. That was somebody. No, he basically said that he didn't know what he didn't give a definitive answer on what he was going to do next year at the quarterback position. So just saying that it's looking like a split between McVay and Goff over the summer. We'll see what happens with that. And then of course you had the Breeze and Brady, right? That was a classic, right? That was a classic, and that one, we ain't never gonna see that no more. JB, that class of quarterback, that class is dwindling down, man. Phillip Rivers just retired. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that in a little bit, but there ain't many of those dudes left, bro. It was Breeze, Brady, Roethlisberger, Rodgers, Rivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that all of them?
Eli already retired. Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of sad though,
Yeah.
man. You know, I really wanted to see Breeze make one more serious run, but you know, you had Tom Brady moving into your backyard. It was going to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? So, right.
Hey, you know, they had the opportunity. You know, if anything, the catch against the Minnesota Vikings, the blown call against the Rams. There's only so much that a Breeze can do. You know, we could tell Breeze don't have that arm anymore because you had to bring in Jameis Winston to throw a pass past 20, 25 yards. So, hey, he got a Super Bowl.
He got
career.
one.
I can't trip on him.
He got one, but like, you know, really, I think for everything that Sean Payton and Drew Brees done over the last, you know, maybe 6 or 7 years. Just let's look at that time span. JB, I think Drew should have had another Super Bowl by now, I think. You know what I mean? There was a time when the NFC South was kind of taken up by the Carolina Panthers for a good 5 years, right? But they won the division 3 years in a row, and then it was 2 other years But other than that, I'm just like, it was the Saints, right? Because wasn't nothing else really going on. The Bucs were on the skid, right? And the Falcons, except for that Super Bowl run.
I got to say this. Hey, JB, how is it that we always got to bring the Carolina Panthers up in here?
Wow, when I'm just setting up the question about the Saints.
You can set up a different way, man. Y'all wasn't relevant for the past 2 years. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's not what I was saying. What I was saying was, with the teams that Drew Brees had over the past 6 years, except for that brief time that Carolina dominated the division, which they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Facts are facts. Jimmy, did you think that Drew Brees should have had another Super Bowl by now? That was the question before I was so rudely interrupted. You know what I mean?
Definitely was supposed to have at least Super Bowl appearance.
Yes, I believe so.
This last game, and I guess this last couple of attempts, that's on him. You know, he threw the pick. Shouldn't it came down to a last moment where the defense had a gaffe, the pass interference. Who's to say what would happen if they give him the call? Because I mean, I don't know. It's been Breeze, man. It's been Breeze in these big games where lately, you know, he come up short. I think the game where the Stephon Diggs play happened, he threw a crucial one in that game as well. So or a fumble, or a strip sack, something like that.
Right.
So it ain't been, you know, it's harder for him though. You know, if it didn't happen this year, it wouldn't, because broken ribs, punctured lungs. You know,
all that,
like
right?
Glass said, they put him in to throw a ball past 25 or 40 yards.
Right
on the wall, man.
Because now, according to the Whodats, though, the Whodats gonna tell you about all these records that Breeze got, all these passing records, all this yardage, all these accolades that he got. And Grant, I mean, that dude was running the numbers up on the passes, though. He running it up. I don't got his stats in front of me, but especially like 2 years ago, when I think when Thomas first got to the team. Oh yeah, they were running the numbers through the roof or whatever. And like I said, I don't know what happened that year that that Atlanta ended up going to the Super Bowl. I don't even know what was going on with the Saints that year. I don't even know. But really, I'm thinking to myself, nothing. The division couldn't have been that tight. It couldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just seemed a little weird.
Listen, man. Breeze was playing with house money with that injury he had when he was playing with the Chargers, when he had to have surgery on his throwing shoulders, and to come out the way he came out, man. Listen, he's happy. Like I said, he won a Super Bowl. The only bad thing about it, you don't want to go out like that. I think he had the lowest QBR rating over the weekend through 3 interceptions, but that's not the longevity of his career. We see what he was doing. Like you said, he was throwing up numbers when he was in his prime, or on the back end of his prime, rather. And he don't have nothing to be sad about.
No,
great career. We didn't see all this. Not.
Is he done though? Is he finished?
Oh hell yeah, he done.
You think so?
Come on, stop. Yeah,
I don't know, man. Usually when they go out like that, though, man, that's a rough way to go out, Jamie.
Man, did you see him when he walked off the field?
I saw it, but you know what? Look, what happened with Tom Brady last year? You saw it. So the way he ended it with the Patriots, right? It was rough. It was rough.
Listen, Breeze is an intelligent man. He know when it's time to go. It's time to go.
Right. Right.
Yeah, especially because I don't really think there's an opportunity for like let's say he decided like I'm gonna do it one more time, like Ben did, right? But Ben had they ripped off 10 straight wins. It looked like they were, the run was going cap off to something. But I don't really see that with the Saints right now. So I was like what would he be coming back to? You know what I mean? Especially, you got Big Brother Tom in the, he in the neighborhood now. He don't put his stamp on this division now, so that's I don't know. I don't want to think. I don't want to think he's done. I don't want to.
But you got to see if Ben Roethlisberger's coming back. The way he was sitting on that bench and talking to Marquise Pouncey.
Yeah, you heard the conversation between them two, right? Yeah. Yeah. So basically, he said he was just coming back for Marquise. He's like, I was coming back for you.
Exactly.
But so I don't know. I got a feeling he won't be coming back. But Drew, I think he needs some time to think about it. I think he needs some time to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
He trying to figure out what network he gonna be be an analyst for.
Right, yeah. But then we had the last game that we want to talk about was JB's game, which I thought was a pretty interesting game. That weird 101 yard pick six didn't see that coming. Yeah. That one threw me off. You know what I mean? But what I wanted to say about Lamar Jackson, I read that they asked Harbaugh about the future of his young quarterback, and that boy got a big payday coming. You know what I mean? So everybody's like, oh, they being all sad about Lamar because, like that first playoff game he lost, he didn't even start that whole season, right? So I don't even count that. Then the next year, he had just took over the team at that point. So I was like, okay, whatever. At least he did go to 2 playoff games back to back, right? Then he won his third one. And then, of course, we had the situation in the division round. I don't know. I think it was cool to think that the Ravens could probably make a run with it like that. But, man, just the fact that, that they solidify and they know who the guy is. They done waived Robert Griffin III. He's not coming back. And your boy Lamar, this summer, he might get paid, JB. What you think about that?
I mean, I think we got our guy. We just need to critique what we're doing. Yeah. Find a little bit of balance. Number 1 in rushing, 30-something in passing. You got to at least kind of put that gap into the teams. You got to be at least better than 15 teams,
right?
If you're gonna try to make a run, because teams will take away what you do best. We all know that. Mark Ingram got released also.
Yeah, he did. That's right.
It's not. I mean, you might as well get the hard parts over with. Our toughest part was losing in the playoffs in that fashion. So you might as well go ahead and not prolong or take the fan base through an off season in the spring.
Right.
With departures and such, just do it now, which is smart.
Yeah, and not for nothing, just to throw it out there so people know how I feel about it. I knew that the Ravens was going into some crazy. We really had a whole lot of games this season with the COVID and all that, where we can say there was home field advantage and there was definitely a hostile environment. This was crazy, right? Like I don't know if you saw it. It was crazy, right? So so for the first time all year, you actually having to deal with the environment. And I ain't saying that had nothing to do with that. I'm just saying they had to deal with that, and it was a very harsh environment for them to be in. And it kind of threw it the offense just didn't seem like it was getting together. And I know what it was. It was that vibe and that vibe in that building. It was off the chain, right? It was going to be hard to play through that for whoever. I don't care who it was. It would have been hard to do that, especially.
It had to do nothing with. The crowd noise. The few that was there, a few thousand that was there. I mean, it made a difference,
right?
As they should. But you go from just cricket silence all season, and then you got this and a pressurized situation. I ain't making no excuses for no team,
right.
But it's definitely a catch you off guard.
Definitely,
you got screaming. I mean, it ain't just the low audible sound of. Artificial crowd noise. It's a real deal.
It's a real thing, man.
In the red zone.
Absolutely, and I think it played a part. But again, you're a professional football team, and it ain't like we ain't never played it. Like that stadium was still only 30% capacity, so you can't use it as no excuse. It's just the fact, like you said, you used to playing in front of 1,000 people. This season, it ain't nobody been in the stadiums, right? And then all of a sudden, you got this crazy rabid little crowd, it was rough. It was going to be just like I believe that's the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers imploded the way they did. It was a little rough in that environment, and then Lambeau Field last weekend was a little no, yeah. Lambeau Field was the other one, was a little crazy, right? A little bit nuts, but. And that can throw you off, man. Especially when
it didn't help the Saints, but Buffalo definitely rode the momentum of the 10+ thousand that was there.
I definitely believe so. I definitely believe so. So,
before we move on, I just want to say this about to JB. I don't know if you agree with that. To me, I think, like you said, you got your QB, no problem with that. You just got to find the number one wide receiver.
Yeah,
right. You got to look you got a lot of number twos. And Hollywood Brown was actually, he was speaking for the team for himself, saying that they need to have a more balance. Well, in order to be more balanced, you got to have a number one wide receiver to help out with the running back.
Right. Yeah.
He's not it, so they need to go find one. And I just want to say kudos to Bills Mafia. If I'm mistaken, they put money into Lamar Jackson's foundation.
Favorite charity.
Yeah, so that's a good look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But this is the same.
Man.
But this is the same crowd that did that thing for Andy Dalton, right? A couple years back, right? It's the same crowd.
Yeah.
So it was good stuff. So as we move on, because like I said, now we down to the Final Four. One of these four teams gonna go. Two of these teams will go to the Super Bowl, but one of them, the defending champs, quarterback took a nasty hit. I don't know. I've seen the replay a bunch of times, and I don't know how we get a concussion out of this. I don't really. I don't know.
Who are we talking about?
You're talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Man, what you mean you don't see how you had a concussion? Did you see when he tried to get up? My wife
hold on. Now I did see that part.
Okay.
What I'm saying is this: I didn't see no helmet to helmet combat. No helmet to helmet contact. I didn't see no helmet to ground contact. I don't know.
Yeah, it was helmet to ground. It was helmet to ground when he rolled over.
I don't know, man.
On the ground.
I don't know. But then when I saw him try to stand up, clearly something was wrong with the kid, right? Clearly he had some issues or whatever. But he goes out and they pull him out of the game for the concussion protocol. They sent in journeyman Chad Henne. Luckily, he was able to kind of like finish that game off and get them up out of there unscathed. But the problem is this, JB, we don't know if Mahomes is going to be out of the protocol before Sunday, right?
Well, it was a full participant in practice today, so that's that.
Yeah. Okay, well that's good because now here's what Colin Cowherd said. He said that they should postpone the game until because they don't. That's not good for TV, and that's not good. It's not a good look for the league, right? Now, granted, this has always been the thing. They go back to them old Bills teams that had to, made playoff runs and they had to bring in next man up because they lost folk. The Cleveland team just had to suck it up because they didn't even have a coach due to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even though I do think it's completely sucks, if he ain't able to go, that'd be bad, and especially if he didn't able to go and they end up losing, that would be really bad, But it is what it is. I mean, this is the way the injuries are part of the game.
Number one, I don't even listen to Colin Cowherd anymore. So
yeah,
the fact that he said what he said, I'm not shy. But
right,
next man, we always say next man up. We didn't trip when Aaron Rodgers broke his collarbone twice.
Yeah,
but they kept on moving. So don't get me wrong, I like me some Patrick Mahomes, but that's the nature of the beast. If you ain't fit to go, you ain't fit to go. They ain't nobody's fault but your own.
I mean, nobody made excuses for a different sport, but nobody made excuses for Golden State when they just got hit with rashes of injuries in the finals. They had to play. But whether it was, if it's about ratings, then what we're really doing here. But you don't call for a cancellation or a delay in the playing time because it's football overall. It comes with it.
As soft as it is, we can't touch the quarterback. So when it's the quarterback fault, and I'm gonna say it was the quarterback fault because just like you said, it didn't look that serious, but evidently it was. He hit it back his head. So in future reference, they're gonna have to watch that because that sounds like something that Michael Vick went through. You hit him in the ribs and he holding his head.
Right. You know what
That's
I'm
not a
saying?
good look right there.
And then like I think about it, like I think at the end of the day, it was Nick Foles holding the Lombardi Trophy, not Carson Wentz, and it was Colin Kaepernick representing the 49ers in the Superdome for the Super Bowl against the Ravens, and not Alex Smith, right?
Smith.
So I mean, look, this happens, right? It is what it is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But then there was also talk about the bad play calling from your coach, putting the quarterback in danger, Andy Reid. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that's some BS too, right? You know what I mean? Like, you draft certain individuals or you pay certain individuals what you pay them because of their skill set, right? You know, certain things that he can do and certain gifts that he got that other people don't got. And that's the reason why he's on your team, right? That's the reason why you got him as your quarterback. You let him do those things. And so, you know, it's a roll of the dice. Every time that Cam Newton or Lamar Jackson or whoever pull that ball back from the running back on those RPOs, you rolling the dice. You absolutely rolling the dice every time. But it is what it is, right? It's part of the game. You know, so I don't know. I am not a fan of the folks who were saying that, you know, trying to put the blame on Andy Reid. You know, the play call is what it is. I mean, they probably ran that play 100 million times already. Probably done beat a bunch of people with that same play. But when nobody's saying nothing then, right? But now all of a sudden, now the quarterback hurt, and now the world coming apart. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Then, of course, I got to talk about my boy.
You know something? Sometimes I watch Pat Mahomes when he get like, you know, because the defensive end is allowed 2 steps. It's incidental in 2 steps. He can still touch you. I can see him complaining to the refs. I can see him, you know, talking to that player about being touched. It's disgusting, man. So I guess they got it figured out. All of them believe the same thing. Why is he hitting my quarterback? I mean, you out there with a helmet on.
Yeah.
We've seen this before. We've seen, you know, guys complain. You out there playing football about incidental contact, anything after the whistle, of course. But these guys are paid to try to get you. They try to tackle you. They have to beat another man to get to you.
Yeah.
Once they beat the hard part, once they pass the guy that's blocking for you to get to you, their intentions is really not that great.
Right.
I mean, it's football, though, right?
And then on top of that, right, as you preparing for the contact, you have to do things to defend yourself. You know what I mean? So you reacting in a way that they not really looking for you to react that way, and then, you know, accidents happen. Like I said, I watched the replay a lot of times, and, you know, it just I've seen, you know, quarterbacks get smacked, and this one didn't look like that to me. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, we saw what happened. We saw the result, though. We saw that he was woozy. He was definitely loopy, but you know, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Man, listen, Tom Brady, he is the GOAT, and he could coach other quarterbacks on how to absorb a tackle. You know what I'm saying? You never heard about Tom Brady getting concussed or anything like that. So there's a way that you could fall, and they need to take notes on how he does it.
Absolutely. But you know, these young guys, Slim J, what's happening, Slim J? But you know how it is with these young dudes, though. It's always that extra inch, that extra yard. Damn, and Lamar and Kyler and all these dudes, man, they try to get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do.
And kudos to Henny for trying to stretch and get that first down on that run he did. But you see how he was almost knocked out.
Yeah, they do. I was telling somebody that he was giving up his life to make sure that Chiefs won this game. He was putting his life on the line. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
You know, he said, dude looked like he swung on Mahomes after he was on the ground. See, I didn't see all that, but again, I still didn't see no helmet to helmet or no really hardcore helmet to ground. Like you said, you saw helmet to ground. I didn't see it.
When he rolled him over, Patrick Mahomes whipped back and hit his head on the ground.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. But
that's part of the game, man. No.
Yeah. So we got to talk about my boy because you know, like over the years.
Wait, you picking like your poison when you. That's who you going after to try to create a competitive advantage.
Right.
KC's got. I mean, as you well saw, they got weapons everywhere. So I mean, the usual suspects showed up in winning time. Kelsey,
Right.
Hill. I mean, the offensive line. Come on, it's just
So glad. Just so you
great.
know, it ain't just a me thing. Listen to what Slim is saying. He's saying Mahomes looked like his head ain't even hit the ground. Dude put him in the head like, but that's cool. That's what I saw too. But this is what he said. Cam has taken way worse hits, and it ain't been just.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, it is what I mean. You know,
Some
I
people
remember.
ain't built.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so we move on, right? And our guy, JB's been a fan toward the end of his career. I was a fan in the early part of his career. Your boy Phil P. Reeves called it a career. He hung him up, and after how many was it 14 seasons? He's done.
Yeah, 17.
17. Okay, yeah, he's done. But this is stuff that tripped me out right here. 256 consecutive starts, and that dude ain't never missed a game, man. Like that right there, I did not know. You know, but Rivers is like he's one of the few last gunslingers, warriors of the game. You know, and I would give Phil Rivers all the credit because I like watching him play. Now I do know this, and he even said it at that presser that like he'll throw it fourth and 18. He gonna sling it, you know what I mean, and it might be an interception, it might not. But he's like he don't really care because he's trying to win the game. That's what he's trying to do. And I mean, one of the things that I always say about Phillip Rivers was he gonna try to win. And I mean, sometimes that came at a detriment, and it was one of them things that kind of caused him to have a stigma that people were like, well, if the game on the line, don't give it to 17. You know what I mean? Like but. I don't know, but I was always a fan, JB. I like his trash talk. I like the fact that he would get up in linebackers' faces and stuff, and he would challenge like cornerbacks and whatnot. I liked everything about the man's career. It's a shame that he had success early in his career and didn't really much kind of come after that. But he's still a good dude, man. And I think the game gonna miss Phillip Rivers though. JB, what you think about Phillip P. Rivers?
Definitely gonna miss Phillip Rivers. I think, in my opinion. Besides, I mean, how many other San Diego / LA Chargers you could name that made you pay attention to this team or made them formidable? It was Phillip Rivers. Right. I mean, you had Tomlinson, you had Junior Seau, you had
Gates. You had Gates was
there.
End.
So other than that, who do you talk about? Keenan now, but I mean, then in their heyday, you don't. That was Pete Rivers, and he made them relevant. And
he did.
It's a shame that Rivers never could taste the glory. Because I think that he deserved it. That it took a lot to keep coming back to football. With the 100% risk rating he played. I feel like the AFC Championship on a bad or actual busted knee.
Yeah,
the one LaDainian set out on him.
Actually, I think it was an ACL injury, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was an ACL injury.
So that you don't fake that. That ain't made up. That's real moxie. That's something that the game definitely lack now. Back position. So he got with several other moments in his career too, but that was one of them. And so he'll be missed.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I think Glass his leadership quality, the fact that nobody ever really gave him a whole lot of like belief. Every time a season start, we would do the breakdowns or whatever, right? Normally we get a Chargers we were kind of 8-8, 7-9. We never gave him a winning season. As far as I can think of, did we ever give them a winning record like ever? I don't know, right?
We gave him a winning record, but I had always said as long as you had Norv Turner as your head coach, they wasn't gonna win anything. I think that was the part of it right there. Yes. I got much respect for Phillip Rivers. He remind me of Brett Favre. Like you said, he was the last of the gunslingers. Played on a blown ACL in the AFC Championship, trying to get that team over there. I believe, even though I'm a Denver Bronco fan, I believe the Chargers should have won a Super Bowl because they had their own triplets between Rivers, Gates, and Tomlinson. So much credit to him. Now I've already seen it. Everybody says he a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know about a first ballot, but he's gonna be damn near 2 or 3. Back to numbers: 8-time Pro Bowlers, 63,000 plus passing yards, 5th of all time, and 421 passing touchdowns, 5th of all time. He got the numbers. So I mean, whether he's a first or second, but he is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Yeah, he's definitely a Hall of Famer.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I forgot it. Sean Merriman, but
that's what he said. Sean Merriman, Quentin Jammer, Antonio Cromartie. Slim J was saying, but it's kind of sad to see. Like I would think, I would probably be less sad to see somebody like Roethlisberger hang him up before Rivers. It's kind of sad to see Rivers go though, because Rivers had that grit, bro, and he was gonna try to make it happen. I ain't
never seen anybody talk trash without cursing.
You know what I mean? It's always dad gummit and shoot and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Yeah, but the game, like I said, the game is gonna miss Pete Rivers, man, and I wish him the best of luck, man. I know he says he's going to coach high school football. That's what he's going to do. So good luck to.
I think that Rivers was in a situation instability. A lot of people don't talk about that because they'll give that when quarterback land in a spot where it ain't so stable. They'll bring that up. But Rivers had it was an ever changing situation. Their best year go to the AFC Championship and lose to the Patriots. Schottenheimer is out, and I don't. Everybody's still scratching their head on it. That's 14-2 season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the head coach is gone the following season. So, and then you get all this in and out revolving door of his career out with the Chargers. Yeah. And then, of course, you get to the coast, and that's been in rebuild for about 5 years now. So,
his timing was pretty bad too in the division that he played in all this time, because it was always the Raiders and the Broncos got hot for a few years, right? It was always something in their way. You know what I mean? They couldn't. It's his timing coming up around at the time that that all these other teams were coming up. It was just bad timing. And like I said, he had that weird coach. There's a bunch of weird. I don't know. But definitely at the end of the day, I think he's definitely a Hall of Famer. Now, probably not a first ballot, but it depends on his timing. He's retiring now. We'll see who else is eligible when he's eligible. But it's a good chance he might be.
Yeah. I ain't doubting it. And it's very ironic that even though it's not official with Breeze, that Rivers came in and bumped Breeze out, and they damn near both gonna be retired after this season.
Right. So that means that it might be it for Ben too. So there'd be Ben, Breeze, Rivers, all becoming eligible for the Hall of Fame at the same time. Which, if you had to choose between those three, you would have had to give it to Ben first, right? As first ballot, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, second would be Breeze because he got a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See that's a little.
I can
rough
see all three going in at the same time. That'd be cool if all three could go.
I don't know if they can do I don't know if they do that many quarterbacks at the same time. I don't know if they can do that.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. The last thing we're gonna talk about before we get into these games here is we talked about this a little bit last week. The coaching vacancies as we
be mad now, man.
I got to do it because we wouldn't be the gentlemen that we are if we don't talk about the lack of diversity at the GM, head coach positions in the NFL. Because now we've watched. This is probably like one of the years where we had the biggest set of openings at the GM / head coach, and we got what, 2 teams left? We got Houston and Atlanta left, right? No, Houston and
Texans. No, we got Texans and I got it right here. Texans and Eagles.
Yeah, Texans and Philly left, right? Yep. And so this is what I got so far. Bob Saleh to the New York Jets. That's great, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's a good deal. That's a good look.
Yeah.
Now here we go. Urban Meyer going to Jacksonville. I don't even know.
I'm all right with that.
Well, I'm okay with it, but I feel like that was a thought out long. I think that was in the works before the season even started. I believe that's
I ain't mad at that.
That's my 10-4 had thought about it, right? If this happens, then this is what is going to happen. Because Urban, you would think that he would be on the fence, but no, it wasn't like that. They've been talking to this man for a hot minute, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's that, and then they're even thinking about hiring Trent Baalke, which I don't know if you remember Trent Baalke. Trent Baalke was he was the GM of some, was it New York Jets? No, he was somewhere where he completely destroyed a team a few years back. I can't remember who it was, but they said to hire him as their GM. Brandon Staley for the Chargers, right? So they moved.
Who?
Right. So who was my man's name who was coaching there? The black guy. Anyway, So
Anthony Lynn.
Anthony Lynn. They moved Anthony Lynn out. I forget what. Now the Chargers are coming off a divisional round playoff loss, right? This man loses his job. Okay, now I don't know how you do that. I don't know how that works. But and then is Brandon Staley guy, who I don't know much about, but he got the job there. Arthur Smith for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know what's going on with that either. You know, he was they said he was the architect of the Titans offense and Ryan Tannehill's renaissance. So maybe he was a good look. I don't know. Maybe, you know what I mean. I mean, Ryan Tannehill has come, from the dead. So this Arthur Smith guy might be okay. Dan Campbell, Detroit Lions, right? He got a 6-year deal to become the Lions' next head coach for that. So no. And then Marty Hurney is set to sign with somebody, the Washington football team. Now this is what I don't understand about that. Okay, Marty Hurney came to Carolina twice and destroyed the team, and now he gets another shot in Washington for just being Marty Hurney.
It had to be endorsed by Rivera. I mean, I can see that correlation.
Really? Because Marty? No, I don't think so. Because Rivera came after Hurney got fired the first time when they brought in Gettleman, right? And then he got fired the same time as Hurney came in. No, they worked together for a year. I think, or whatever. But that's all the time. I think they had 1 year together, right? 2018, I want to say it was, right? Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Well, I bet you Ron Rivera taking a deep sigh, like, damn, I can't get away from you, man.
Right, you know what I mean? Yeah, so now, for all the good stuff that I was thinking about Washington, right? They got rid of Gruden and I think they've already hired their new coach or whatever already, right? No.
Who we talking
Ron
about?
Rivera. Yeah, that was last year. They got rid of Gruden, brought in Ron Rivera last year.
Right.
So they had a pretty good run this season, right? Even though they had no name. I'm thinking, okay, the Washington football team getting ready to do some stuff. And then they bring in Marty Hurney. So I'm like, okay, well, all right. Okay, cool. It is what it is. But still, no telephone call. Now, I know that Eric Bieniemy is still active, right? So I don't know if you can do anything until after he's finished or whatever. But no Louis Riddick. No Louis Riddick. No Jerry Reese. None of these guys have got a telephone call. Now, Glass, JB, we talked about this before, but it is what it is. What's going to happen in order for some diversity to be shown in I mean, I don't get it. I mean, like, we've seen Marty Hurney get moved around a bunch of times. We've seen a bunch of these other guys get moved around a bunch of times. And how in the hell do you get Urban Meyer to come and coach from he ain't been how long has he been retired?
2 years.
Come on, somebody explain this to me, man. I don't know what's going on. Look, it's getting a little bit frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, let's keep it simple. Systemic racism.
Yeah,
that's as simple as it's getting. You know what? And I've heard on the radio. I don't know. There's a what is that? Undefeated.
Yes.
Article out there where I can't remember the name, but anyway, where he just put it out there, state the facts. It's just like, you know what, we just got to do. It's not equal playing field. Put it like that. It's supposed to be, if you are qualified for it, you should have a chance for it. Because just like you said, Arthur Smith, Brandon Staley, I don't know who the hell they are. The two, I'm cool with the Urban Meyer hire. I definitely like the Robert Saylor hire and everything. But these other three have no idea who they are. You had 7 openings.
Yes.
And it seems like now one of them going to go to a black head coach that's qualified. Eric Bieniemy, you cannot tell me that man is not qualified to coach. Now, I don't know how his interviews are. If his interviews suck, then somebody needs to teach him how to do interviews. But from what I see on the field, he was qualified when Doug Peterson. Now I'm talking about everybody that's under the Andy Reid tree. Doug Peterson had a chance, and I think Eric Bieniemy was better than him. What's the other one? Matt Nagy here in Chicago.
Yeah.
I think Eric Bieniemy better than him. It's just the fact that it's the color of the skin. I'm just gonna put it out there, keep it real, just like you said. Louis Riddick, he should be GM by now. He showed you how to do this stuff, and nobody gonna give him a chance.
Right.
If you're gonna have retreads, bring in Jim Caldwell. He got fired when they had a winning record.
Right.
Marvin Lewis. He brought his team to playoffs time and time again. He didn't get over the hump. But he brought his team to the playoffs. So
but he averaged 10 games a season, so that's good enough in the NFL. So now Slim J just came up with a good point. Said Raheem Morris got the Rams defensive coordinator gig. Now that's another thing, JB. Why was Raheem good enough to be your interim guy in Atlanta, but he ain't good at? But then he relegated to go back to being a DC with another team. But he's good enough to be your interim guy, but not enough to be the head guy.
It's got a lot to allude to what Glass said. I mean, I think a lot of these teams, like, I don't think they see outside of the shield. They think it's a brand thing, face of the franchise thing to have certain types of head coaches. So they will endure a season or a losing season just to have to protect the brand. But also, I think that black head coaches are getting smart. You can't keep putting black head coaches on these losing teams and then make it look like none of the black head coaches won't have success. Right. Whereas other coaches get sent to places and they don't have experience. Some of them names you ain't never heard of. Some of them off the couch like Urban Meyer, and you get into a situation where they can win early. So and then they up the ante on that if a head coach come in like the one that was in New York or the guy that was Anthony Lynn that was out with the Chargers. You have you're a fringe team, and then they let you go. They Lovie Smith you for after 9-10 season. So it's almost like that. The word is out. Most of these black coaches understand. I'm not going to no situation where you're gonna let me or you gonna Mike Singletary me where I could get the team mentally and physically or culturally ready, and then you come in and you fire me in and you have some no name or nobody or a guy that can relate to the players. Take the team over the top. No way. So it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, because after Del Rio retired, did he retire after Super Bowl win in Denver, right? He retired, right? Wasn't he the coach and won the last Super Bowl in Denver?
I think so, yeah.
So he retires, right? They bring in with Vance, no, it was somebody else before Vance Jones. But anyway, the team ain't really been doing much since Del Rio left. But they sent a sacrificial lamb and Vance Joseph.
Kubiak.
But they sent a sacrificial lamb and Vance Joseph up there, just like they sent the sacrificial lamb to Cleveland and Hugh Jackson to Cleveland. But you're right, Jay, that's what it is. In Oakland. So they send these sacrificial, lambs and Anthony Lynn and Todd Bowles, all these guys. Sacrificial lambs, man. That's what they were. Somebody to
buy the time. To think about this too. What is the role of head coach? You can't. There's so many other coordinators that do stuff, equipment managers, you got all these other stuff. The head coach is basically in pro football the face of the franchise. So this is what it boils down to. This is what it is. This is what it's got to be. Because there's no way a Jason Garrett or Freddie Kitchens or you.
Right.
Thank you. Right. And you know what? I come to conclusion. Well, with the Rooney Rule, only reason why they had the Rooney Rule because they was going to take the NFL to court because of no head coaches. Might have to do the same thing now. Take them to court. Like, give me a reason why you ain't hiring. And I'm gonna keep it real. Reason why they ain't hiring because they're not comfortable with a black head coach. They want somebody that they could look at him and say, you know what, I wouldn't mind him marrying my daughter.
Right. But this is the issue that I got with the whole thing though before we move on.
Even if the team is 0-16, as long as you got a who's the guy in Arizona? You got
Kingsbury.
As long as you got a Kingsbury pacing your sidelines,
But here's the issue that I got, right? So what happened to like somebody like Al Davis who was just like just like what happened to winning? Like that's what the NFL costs. Like Jerry Jones for somebody. I don't respect Jerry Jones at all. Like Jerry Jones for is that he will do what it take in his mind to win. No matter how much money he got to spend, how much money he got to throw away, or whatever the case may be. He would just like Dave Tepper. I feel like David Tepper is probably the worst owner in the league, probably, right? Coming from a Panthers fan. but he got the money, right? And he gonna buy his way to a Lombardi before it's over with. I guarantee it, right? But I don't understand why they don't want to win. I believe a Eric Bieniemy or a Louis Riddick or a Jerry Reese, or Jerry Reese is proven. Like Slim J said, Jerry Reese done won 2 Super Bowls in New York, right? So these dudes done proved themselves. Like they win. How come you just don't bring them in so you can win? At the end of the day, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to win.
I'm just trying to figure out how in the hell can you get a guy that talked about football, that look at it from this perspective of never playing, to a Hall of Fame guy, a guy that actually that played pro football for years, that went to Pro Bowls, that's been in the rankings, that can relate to the players from a player, player coach. I don't understand how you can hire a guy from the perspective of outside looking in versus the guy who's inside in. It don't make sense to me. This is, at the end of the day, we're talking about the sport. You coaching the sport. You can't have a philosophy on the sport and be considered. I feel, in my mind, I'd rather have a guy that's been inside of that than a guy that's been inside of it just from the sideline. That never. But it's got to. I guess that's how the other perspective is. We got to have a space for these people too, not just because the sport is predominantly black. So if you got predominantly black players that's in here, and if you're saying that the only people that will make great coaches are the ones that play, then there's no space for those people, for those guys.
But Glass, you see it though from the early levels, right? When you first get into playing ball, most of your coaches are black, right? They're from elementary, grade Y, varsity. When you go into that stuff, playing, those like going up to through high school, college. Most of the people you deal with are black dudes until you get to the NFL, and that's when things change drastically. It's crazy.
Because there's money involved, So I'm gonna let this guy, I mean, listen, man. I could give you at least four head coaches right now that should have never been even discussing football on any level, the elementary level. Shouldn't have been even having Chip Kelly.
Yes.
The AD at that school gave you your reputation.
But he was considered a genius, though.
Coaching. But this ain't about him. So Chip O'Brien.
Yeah.
Okay. Freddie Kitchens should have never done the title of head coach. And
Jason Garrett. But Jason Garrett played, though.
I would stick with Jason Garrett.
Yeah, Jason Garrett played at least, though. He did play.
Right. That's hard to believe, too, but that's true.
Right. He did play, so. It is what it is.
It's like they like they always say, they move the goalposts on us. You tell us you got to go through the system. Okay, we go through the system. And just like y'all said, Freddie Kitchen, where the hell he come from? Hell, the 3 that I just named up that got jobs now, I ain't even heard of them before. But then again, we do it this way, you move it and do it this way. And final word I got to say what Big Q was saying about, the jobs that we get.
Gase.
There you go. Oh, twice. And then what gets me is, now we get the crappy job. I want Airbnb to take the Houston, Texas job.
No. That team, why?
Exactly.
Why would anybody go there? You know what I mean?
But don't even call me to come there.
They're offering him a boatload of cash that they think that he's not going to, going to turn down because he's a black man and he, there's a payday, and he'll go and spend 2.5 seasons there. And they'll fire him just when he's starting to get the team back on track, just like they did with Hugh Jackson in Cleveland.
They're gonna keep rolling in.
Yeah. So it is what it is. But I think this is just a discussion that we're probably gonna have for the next few years until we see things change. But it's in a bad place right now. So 2 teams left. We'll see what happens. Eric Bieniemy still is active right now, so maybe that's why ain't nothing been announced or nothing been discussed. Is because he's still working. So. Glass, our last 2 games. Let's get it. You know what I mean?
Cool. First, both of them on Sunday. So the first game that we have up is the number 5 Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up to Lambeau Field to play the number 1 Green Bay Packers.
Oh yeah, you already know how I feel about it. I think. For what Tom Brady has done this season has been remarkable. I ain't gonna, normally I am not a Tom Brady cheerleader. I'm not, but seeing him away from the Patriots doing this thing or whatever, and doing it the hard way, like not coming in for the number 1 seed, coming in through the wild card and doing it like that. You know what? That's cool with me. But now you're going to see what it's really like, right? First, a disappointment in his life in a big game situation like this, because now you know what it's like when you kind of struggle from the bottom and you don't have that number one seed in it. You bye weeks and all that stuff, and people in the Patriots organization cheating for you and whatnot. So he can ready to see what reality is like, and Aaron Rodgers is going to teach him that hard lesson. And like I said, I'm going to stick Green Bay in the Super Bowl representing the NFC, and I'm staying with that one. That's where I'm at with it.
Okay,
Jimmy,
got you. Yeah.
I'm sticking with 12 too. The Rodgers 12. I'm not. Brady need to join these cast of quarterbacks that need to just park it. Because you don't get to go to a new team and then end up in the championship game.
Right?
I don't think so, brother.
You're right.
So, no, I'm going with Rodgers in the inclement weather game. That most of the weather Brady may be used to, but far the rest of them ain't.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Hey, it's gonna go across the. Congrats to Brady doing what he's doing his first year with Tampa Bay. The defense got to step up in order for them to have a chance to win this game, but I can't see Pierre, Paul, Sue stepping up to make this. And Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers having fun in the playoffs.
Yes,
it's like they're doing this with ease.
Yes,
so
yes,
with that, and they're playing at home. And like you said, it's gonna be 20 degrees, snowing. And I don't care what it. Just like Aaron Rodgers said, I can't stand it, but I know they got it worse. So with that being said, I'm definitely going with the Green Bay Packers.
But we get to see Tom Brady humbled for the first time. But I think this is a beautiful thing. I think that's worth the price of admission right there.
All right, next up, we got the number 2 Buffalo Bills going up to Arrowhead Stadium to play the number 1 Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Wow, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. But here's the thing. The Buffalo story has been a nice one too. To kind of been, over the last couple of years, they've been building this thing. It comes to a head here. You got the big best standing in your way, defending Super Bowl champions, one of the most, offenses in the league. It's going to be a tough one, man. It is going to be a tough one. But I think it really on Patrick Mahomes, man. Like I know ain't nothing going to keep him out of this game. If he's going to play. I'm going to go out on a limb. And I said this a couple weeks ago. I wanted to see this matchup. I want to see if Buffalo is for real. Everything they've done up to this point, yeah, sure, it's been tough. But this is the toughest challenge yet. Can they do it? I think they can. I think it's going to be a really, really rough and tumble game. But I got Buffalo dethroning the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo, Green Bay in Super Bowl 55. Yeah, it is.
They beat?
I'm gonna echo that, but hold on before I give you my pick. I can't help but to think of the Bruce Smiths, the Jim Kellys, the Andre Reeds, the Thurman Thomases, the 4 Super Bowl losses. I think the entire National Football League has had it worse than the Buffalo Bills. All the almost whiffing on draft picks, that players that go from their picks to somewhere else and end up being great and Super Bowl champions like Marshawn Lynch. So many of them, so many other names that I can name that I can think about. And the grace that fan base got, even though they're known for their antics and tailgates, they still just a different type of fan base. They beat us. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills, hopefully not being set up for a 5th loss in the Super Bowl, but got to circle the wagon with the Bills and Bills Mafia. Yeah, I'm taking it.
Now, I thought you brought
I was gonna come to this thing going against the grain, man.
Oh, you too? Hey. What?
Man, because even if Mahomes played, he got concussed.
Right.
You know
Absolutely.
What I'm saying? So I'm gonna throw everything in the kitchen sink at Mahomes.
Oh, because that offensive line got to work overtime because, he got a bullseye on him. For real,
Oh, we going to see how good he really is. So I'm going to come in with everything I got. Now, don't get me wrong. I know KC got all the weapons and everything, the run game and what have you. I got that. But I just need you to win one game. So we got Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, John Brown, Singletary's running back. We're just going to go all out. We ain't got nothing to lose. Did nobody expect us to be here? I think they go in there shot because there's time and time again when KC come from behind to win the game.
They do.
I think this is going to be one of them times where they're going to be shocked. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills beating the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow, that is actually surprising.
I didn't know. I know all
way.
three of us going to take.
Yeah, I know, right? You know, but Jimmy said something interesting.
It's from the historic straight Super Bowl losses to not be ready to win with all that history and all that those fans for the fan base just.
It's a bunch of ghosts of NFL seasons
to keep us with 3 points. I'm telling you, man.
It is crazy.
They'll be in KC. It's just that the
now if they make it to the big dance, it's a whole different story. Now JB had said about them losing it again. I wouldn't wish that on them, but that's a whole different conversation. Like that's not what we're talking about here today, right? So that's a different conversation for a different day. And hopefully things work out for them. But
let me just tell you this: even the great Pats teams, even the great Dallas Cowboy teams, the great San Francisco teams, none of them were better than the Buffalo Bills that went to them 4 straight Super Bowls.
I know.
None of them can't even come close.
I agree.
Oh yeah.
That is the dynasty nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Okay. Slim J guy, he putting all his ducks in a row on this one. He liked the KC Chiefs. He with them. He's like, talking about the last year the knee, and he talking about this year concussion. Rings ain't easy to get, but Mahomes gonna get his second. I don't know. The repeat in this league is super tough.
All I gotta say is come back next week.
I know that's right. Well, that was surprising that I think we were on the same page on both games.
Yep.
Wow, amazing. That's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff right there. Well, we're 1.5 seasons down, fellas. It's getting there. We're almost done here. You know what I'm saying, right? But anyway, for the folks who've been kind of still hanging on with us, man, the Joshes and the Slims and everybody over here on sportscaster.com who checking us out, we definitely appreciate the love. We definitely appreciate the support. Of course, Lord willing, we definitely gonna come back for next season. But we still got one more game to cover, and we don't know what we're gonna be doing during the off season, but we'll let you know, and that kind of thing, and that kind of thing. So, with all that being said, if I can find my cue up button here, it is.
We're getting old now, man.
There it is.
You gotta look for the cue button.
There it is. Okay.
For real.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to check us out. We definitely appreciate it. Everybody enjoy the games this weekend, man. Glass, go ahead and put your stuff over for everybody, man. Let everybody know what's going on with you.
All right, man. Hey, what's up, Slim J? Long time no hear from. Joshua, you know how I feel about you, bro. You always here and everything. So I want to thank everybody for joining the show. Whether you watch it now or watch it later, we appreciate it. It's almost at the end, man. So you don't see me here with my bro. Oh, I got a lot to talk. Hey, you can catch me on my podcast. I got NBA to talk about, so I'll be around. Don't forget about that. With that being said, if you don't see me here with my boys JB, Big Q on TeamBoydTV Live, you can catch the podcast, the Sage of Sports Podcast. You can find it damn near anywhere. I think there's 7 places: Anchor FM, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Castbox, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Subscribe to the channel when you get a chance. You can follow me on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Anchor FM, The Sage of Sports. You can find me on Twitter at Sage of Sports. With suggestions or contact me via email at thesageofsports@gmail.com. And one more thing, I want to give a shout out to Sarah Thomas, who will be the first female referee to officiate the Super Bowl.
That's gonna be dope.
That's it for me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, JB.
You deserve
it's on you, brother.
Oh man, I just want to give a special shout out. First of all, thanks for everybody who came through, Joshua, and who's the other fellow?
Slim. Yeah.
Slim J, who's always there, and Joshua's always there, and everybody else who come through, whether you watch it now or later. Special shout out to the flock, man. We get every year we inching closer. We'll get there one day eventually.
You already got 2, man. You already got 2.
Huh?
You already got 2.
So, hey, anyway, man.
Stay greedy, bro. Stay greedy.
Yeah. Anyway, man. You can always catch me here on live on Wednesdays and always on Twitter, The Ravens Show.
All right, man. This has been fun, man. We will catch y'all guys, Lord willing, next. I don't know if we do it next week or the week after. I don't know what the spacing is between now and the Super Bowl, but we will be doing a Super Bowl show. We'll let y'all know. Follow us on Twitter to find out. We will catch y'all later. We out of here. Peace.